All right, I'm going to throw this first one to Gary. Water conservation initiatives and initiatives for low-flow fixtures. And since this is not a game show, you're allowed to go to staff anytime you want.
What's the second part of the question there?
Low-flow fixtures.
Well, I was on the council, many of you know, back between 2012 and 2016. And during that time, the council got very, very serious about issues of water. And if some of you remember, we changed some of the programs regarding which days certain parts of town could water. And that program is still in effect, and it's all about conservation. We also got very serious about asking our residents not to water down their driveways and to really get very, very serious, because we all recognize that water, unfortunately, is very inexpensive. I think most people over time, thought about water was, well, you just turn the tap on and there it was, giving no consideration to how you sourced the water, how you distributed it, how you paid for the maintenance and service. So the town, I think, really took the lead many, many years ago and has continued to take the lead on water conservation. We've gotten very serious, as you know, with the new water plant. The concern being that our only water facility right now for treating water is at the Tarn. It's an older facility. It was built in the 70s. It does require maintenance and servicing from time to time. It's probably due for a major service over the next couple of years. And we realize, as Eric has said earlier, that unlike some of the other towns in Summit County, if they have an issue with water, one of the other towns can actually tap into their piping system and provide the water if in fact they have a problem. Here at Breckenridge, we don't have that opportunity. And given where the Tarn is located, woods all around, high steep banks, if we ever had a wildfire and took out that hillside, the facility at the Tarn is unable to process the water that would have a lot of silt and mud in it, just because of the age of the facility, which gave rise to the town moving forward and designing the second water plant, which obviously is underway right now.
Okay, would town consider reducing commissions to realtors for the sale of deed restricted properties? This would be one way to try and keep our affordable housing more affordable. Wendy?
Well, we have. That is a part of our deed restriction, that I believe we're at a 1%.
The new deed.
The new deed restriction, yeah. So the new deed restriction, help me, Rick, applies to, it now applies to Valley Brook?
Well,
And we
so it applied, the new deed restriction is Blue 52, which is the new
Yeah.
townhomes, but we have a number of complexes that have voluntarily agreed to adopt the new
Right.
deed restriction because it also provided them a better return on this.
It does not apply, however, to the Wellington
Or Vista Point.
or Vista Point. So that's a, different arrangement entirely, since it was developed with private developers involved. So we don't have the same opportunity there. But in our deed restrictions going forward, we're doing everything we can to hold the affordability of these homes down, so that when they're sold, that it's still affordable to the next person who purchases the home. And we've spent a lot of time, we revisit this pretty often, and we probably will continue to do so. But yes, the commission was a part of our discussion, and in our new deed restriction, it's a lower commission.
And we're not limiting somebody's ability to work with a realtor. We're limiting what they can add on to the sale price.
Yeah.
So if they're willing to pay that realtor more because they want help, that's up to them. We're just limiting what they can add on to the price.
And a lot of times, as we know, these things almost sell themselves. I mean, when you have a property that the prices, we're able to hold it down because of the deed restriction, a lot of times that owner already knows somebody who wants to purchase the home. So, we just feel like, in the interest of trying to keep it as affordable as possible, we've got to visit every aspect of it, and you know, that could change in the future. You know, it depends on the economy sometimes. There's been times when they've been on the market longer, and, you know, then we might have to revisit it again. But for now, I think it's been a good move.
You know, and I would say, in past councils, we've looked at building affordable housing to the point where we don't want to compete as much with the free market, but then the need kind of requires us to move further, you know, faster along on it. So it's kind of it's very liquid. I mean, some of us up here in years past thought, well, maybe we should slow down because we have too much. Now we realize we don't have near enough. But there will come a time, perhaps, when we'll say, no, let's back off a little bit and let's see if the free market steps up and if prices act accordingly so that local workers can get into a free marketplace. So it's not, I don't think any of us up here are locked into any sort of philosophical mindset right now. We're behaving a certain way, but that could change when if the economy changes.
All right, when will the town publish the results of the BTO's survey to residents about how much is too much, quality of life issues, etc.? Seemed like it's been 6+ months since the survey was sent to residents and workers. Erin.
Well, that will be a subject of the BTO annual meeting, which is June 14th at 10:30. There will be a special, at the Speakeasy, there will be a special portion of that just discussing the results. And we're looking to do another study in the summer because just to see what people's thoughts are in the summer and if that changes, and maybe rework a couple of the questions. But thank you for everybody who's participated in that. That was, I think, pretty successful, and I've seen some of the preliminary results we all have, and it's pretty interesting. So I look forward to see what you all think about it too.
Excellent. All right. Additional lighting around the Skelly Pond and bridge over the Blue. This is more for staff. Where are we with?
Where's the Skelly Pond? Where's the Skelly Pond?
The Skelly, the dredge.
The dredge.
Oh.
Additional lighting. We added lighting up that area along the F-lot parking lot, right? And did we get on any of those interior? I know we were looking at the alley, kind of Riverwalk path along there as an area that we've identified.
We haven't yet transitioned the lighting in those areas, particularly around the Skelly, but it's on our lighting plan that has been identified as an area.
So we just presented, maybe it was the last meeting, kind of a sidewalk and a lighting master plan to the council. And so while we've done well over 100 improvements at different areas with different lights and adding lights where we didn't have lights, and that there's still areas that we're focused on, and especially in what we're considering high pedestrian corridors.
There's a second question on that same one, and it's about the village roundabout. Have all the needed easements been provided for? 10-mile room, new construction. Not yet.
Yeah.
We're still working, the staff's still working on the easements for the roundabout. That is unfortunately why roundabouts are partially why they get expensive. The one at 4 o'clock
Well, it's
was,
not even designed fully yet. Once it's designed, then we know the actual diameter and everything, and then, you know, where is it placed within the current intersection? How much does that impede into private property, et cetera?
right. I have a couple sidewalk questions. Let's take them both at the same time. You ever gonna finish curb and gutter in Warriors Mark, which was part of annexation vote over 20 years ago, and then sidewalks on the west side of Airport Road near the Green District?
You should probably clear up the annexation vote part.
Yeah, I'm not, you know what, I'm not gonna argue with anybody. We are getting ready to work on some improvements in Warriors Mark. Is that in CIP for this year, or is that?
2019.
2019 CIP, so there'll
So we're
be sidewalk.
anticipating Warriors Mark. I told you we presented a lighting and sidewalk master plan to the council. So we look at kind of a 5-year a 5-year plan of where we need sidewalks, and we're trying to be pretty objective and somewhat systematic of how we identify these based on patterns of pedestrian and vehicular interaction and proximity to the corridors, transit routes, all of those things that we're really looking at to move something into a priority area. So this year, we're doing a section coming down off of Boreas as it connects back out onto Highway 9. What our recommendation is at this time to the council over the next 2019, 2021, probably a 3 to 4 year span is sectioning Warriors Mark off and doing it in at least 3 to 4 years. We wouldn't be able, we're spending about $250,000 a year on sidewalks, and that's kind of our plan, and we figure it's easily $1 million just to get around broken lands there, so. But it's a heavily traveled area, and if we can get people more comfortable out of their cars and walking that short distance into town, then it's money well spent.